For a moment, no talking, just coffee and a pipe. Take your time. This moment is yours. Welcome into my garden, a place where the air feels open and time slows down in a different way. Take a seat, listen to the sounds around you, and let the moment arrive without hurry. There is no need to rush here. A pipe is being prepared not as a habit, but as a small ritual, one that invites stillness and attention. The weather allows it, just barely. Cold enough to feel in the fingers, cold enough to make the breath visible, but kind enough to let an evening be spent outside. Darkness has already settled in, quietly and without ceremony. Somewhere between habit and intention, a small fire has been made, not large or dramatic, just enough to push back the cold and offer something living to look at. The flames move slowly, steady, and patient. Wood shifts, sparks rise and vanish. The fire does what fire has always done. It warms, it occupies the eyes, it gives shape to the surrounding darkness. Nearby, a pipe waits to be filled. Tonight, the choice is Peterson Nightcap. It is not a favorite, not a blend that demands attention or praise, but for this particular moment, it feels right. Some tobaccos suit the time rather than the taste, and this is one of them. Some tobacco remains after the pipe has been filled, a small amount that did not find its way into the bowl. Rather than saving it for later, it is tipped into the fire. The leaves darken, then vanish in a brief flare. An offering, perhaps, a gesture toward those who came before, or a quiet attempt at inviting good fortune. It is hard to say. If it is meant to help, it has not yet convinced the lighter, which still refuses to cooperate in the cold. Lighting the pipe proves less straightforward. The cold has reached the lighter, draining it of enthusiasm. It clicks, it tries, but nothing comes of it. The flame refuses to appear. There is a brief pause, the kind that invites improvisation. A dry stem of ornamental grass, saved from an earlier trimming, becomes the solution. Touched to the fire, it glows just long enough to bring the tobacco to life. The pipe catches, reluctantly at first, then more willingly. Smoke rises, pale against the dark. It is still early in the evening. The night feels young, unhurried. The fire offers both warmth and quiet entertainment. A cup of coffee waits within reach, steam curling upward in the cold air. Milk softens its bitterness. Sugar smooths the edges. It is familiar and comforting, nothing complicated, just the way it should be on an evening like this. Pipe, coffee, fire. Together, they form a small, complete arrangement. Nothing extravagant, nothing missing. The body relaxes into the chair. The mind follows more slowly. Work has been moving at its own pace lately, slow and uncertain, as winter often insists. There were 2.5 days of effort, steady and committed, only to discover later that it would all be undone by circumstances no one could have planned for. At this moment, that knowledge has not yet arrived. For now, there is only the sense that progress is fragile this time of year, that winter is never truly finished when it seems to step aside. Snow and ice have a way of returning without warning. They undo plans, halt movement, remind everything to wait. Soon enough, work will stop again, paused by weather that refuses to cooperate. But that belongs to another moment. Here, by the fire, that future remains unknown. Sitting close to the flames, it feels possible to let the world continue on its own for a while. There is no need to intervene, to solve, to predict. Thoughts drift naturally to what has already passed and to what might still be ahead. Neither offers clear answers. The past is fixed, but endlessly interpreted. The future remains closed, stubbornly silent. Is that uncertainty important? Does it matter how much we know or how little? The question comes and goes without demanding a response. The world, after all, has grown strange in many ways. Faster, louder, more crowded with opinions and urgencies. Yet moments like this still exist, untouched by all of that. On evenings like this, the mind wanders toward a simple question. What more do we really need? A fire for warmth and quiet amusement. A pipe filled with decent tobacco. A cup of coffee held between warming hands. These things have not changed much over time. They ask very little, and give enough in return. The cold presses in from all sides, but it does not win. The fire holds its ground. Smoke drifts upward, carrying the scent of burning wood and tobacco into the night air. The coffee cools slowly, sipped without hurry. The pipe settles into a steady rhythm, each draw unforced. Out here, the moment feels complete, not because everything is perfect, but because nothing demands improvement. The cold can stay. The darkness can deepen. Winter can do as it pleases. For now, this small circle of warmth is sufficient. Take your time. This moment is yours